Hey everybody, it's the Room Escape Geek here. Today we are checking out the lab of Dr. Lev Pasted, or Dr. Lev Pasted. I honestly don't know how to say it, but it's by Logiquit and it's in the Hollywood area. Let's see how we did. Logiquit is one that has been around for years, but honestly we've never heard of them. It wasn't until we scavenged the coupon sites that we were able to find the location and figure out that it's a room that's been around and we just haven't had a chance to do it. So we gave it a shot. So how's the story on this one? Honestly, I don't really know. There was very minimal story. We got our usual introduction. I can't honestly say I remember too much about it because it wasn't overly riveting. I believe we were going in there to follow up on an experiment that Dr. Lev Pasted had either done or was working on, and we were supposed to break on in a little early and grab the experiment before time ran out. Beyond that, the theme is pretty much non-existent. It's your standard laboratory. We've seen them a million times. I'm gonna chalk this one up to the fact that this is an older room, and I believe it may be a purchased room from my research. I'm not 100% on that. But again, it's gonna have that old school feel where you're locked in a small room. You're gonna be standard laboratory. You've got your beakers, a standard desk, things of that sort. Gets a little better as you move on. But overall, thematic and set design on this one is kind of on the lower end, and again, reminiscent of that era past. From a puzzle design standpoint, this one was hard for our group. I don't know if it was just a bad night for us or if it was a little bit of the flow. There is some scavenging in this room. I believe it was harder due to the fact that some of the items look a little beat up, again showing that age that this particular room has. So we thought perhaps we had to do something to get into those areas. It turned out it was just dings and dents preventing us from opening those items. So there is some abstract thinking in this room, which I appreciate. I will say that some of the things were a little harder than we probably thought they should have been, again due to people abusing and beating up the room a little bit. There were some items that I believe have been turned into red herrings, whether they were puzzles from the past that are still left in the rooms that have been disabled, or just things that people have manipulated in such a way that it kind of led you towards that solution when really that was not the case. I don't know if those are intentional, I don't know if those come from times past, but do know that it felt like the flow was off because of those red herrings. There are a nice mix though of abstract compared to straightforward solutions in the room, so you can have a good team that has beginners as well as some enthusiasts and still be successful within this room. From a physical aspect, there really wasn't a lot of physical puzzle in this room. There are some parts that are going to require crawling, looking under things, tipping things of that sort, but we're used to seeing that in rooms, so it's nothing abnormal at this point. Do know if you have bad knees, bad back, whatever, make sure you bring somebody that's a little more agile. So the GM here was actually fantastic. I got to give him credit for that. We walked in, he was nice as can be. We probably sat and talked for a good 30 minutes before we even started our room, just kind of comparing notes on the industry as a whole, which is, again, I always love doing. He was open to criticism. He was aware of many of the issues that we had actually brought up and did say that they are trying to fix some of the things as well as trying to improve upon the location as a whole. So I got to give them credit for that for sure. As far as parking goes, there is a dedicated lot for that shopping center, but do know it's for the center as a whole, so it can get very, very crowded. On top of that is a 1 hour parking limit, so I highly recommend you let the GM of your game know that you may be there for a little bit longer. That way if the parking attendant comes by to check on a car, he can say which car is yours, and that way your escape room experience doesn't become a lot more expensive. Unfortunately, I don't think I can actually recommend this room. I do think if you're in the area, you're looking for a cheaper room, and you just are trying to get a little bit of that itch scratched, this may be the answer if you've run out of all the other rooms in the area. But the fact that it's nearby to many of the top quality rooms makes it very, very hard for me to recommend. Again, if you're just happen to be there and you're just really looking for a cheap game, sure, go check it out. They do have 4 rooms total, so there is some variety, which is great. I don't recommend it though to beginners or intermediate, just because it may turn them off to the escape room genre in general, because it is a little more difficult. There are some things that felt broken, and it does have that dated feel. From an enthusiast standpoint, there's better offerings, but again, many of us have gotten to the point where we've actually already accomplished many of those better offerings. So to hold us over until another room opens up, sure, check it out for that purpose. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed my review for the Laboratory of Dr. Lev Pasted by Logiquit, and I'll see you guys next time.